Content warning, y'all. We have lots of fun making this podcast, but remember, we watch a lot of R-rated films, use language that reflects that, and joke about heavy topics to create levity around these themes. If that doesn't feel safe or could be triggering, please take care of yourself. We want you to have fun listening too. This also means we might not be suitable for children. Oh yeah, and we spoil the end of all the movies we pod about. Thanks for listening. I'm just saying, so I'm curious if it'll help us to stay with our mouths closer to the mic.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because we both sometimes have trouble with that as the episode goes along. Welcome to this episode.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, have you missed us? We haven't been gone.
We've been here the whole time.
We took a week off. No, we didn't.
What are you talking about?
I was going to say, well, we took like a week off because we were having a stress. And then last week.
We were having a stress.
And then last week we had a different type of recording session.
Oh, yes.
We recorded
I
with
see.
Bunny. And we did it all over Zoom, which was a lot of fun, but it did not. I was like, I'm not saying I miss it in the sense of like I wish we hadn't recorded with Bunny because obviously that was great. But I was like, yeah, I really like our little thing.
Oh, yeah, it's a different.
Yeah. It made me appreciate this more. Not more, just it made me appreciate it.
For the first time.
The first time ever. Never before had I appreciated it.
And never again.
Oh my God. Before we get started, I just want to say, don't forget to like us.
Do the things.
On social media.
Follow us,
Please.
subscribe.
Follow us on Twitter.
Smash
For the
that
love
bell.
of God.
Ring that
we have
thumb
10,
button.
and all 10 of you I fucking love. But we have 10 Twitter followers, and we
wow.
I know. We have 45.
That's fewer than my personal account.
I know. Well, it's really hard to get people to follow, like, when you make a
Sure.
secondary account. Like, if you're not, like... Also, like, I always forget... Here's the thing. Here's what I do. For whatever reason, my Twitter... Because I follow too many people, because I don't follow only 4 people. Like, I never see when you tweet, and I never see when Bunny tweets. Ever. And I know it takes me a minute, but I'll start seeing Bunny's tweets all over my feed, and I'll just start liking them all, and I'm like, oh, shit. And then I realize when I start to, like, interact that I'm on the pod. I'm like, oh, because I follow, like, 12 people. And I'm like, oops. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. I think Instagram is a great follow because we post content.
It is the best to follow.
Yeah. And then there's patreon.com/ZNKpod, where for as little as $1 a month, although you can give more if you're so inclined, you can get early access to our
You get
stuff,
the episodes a day early,
and you get exclusive episodes. And those exclusive episodes don't mean like we play it for you first. Like, we don't post them anywhere else except for Patreon. They're only, like, those episodes are only posted to Patreon.
Exclusive content.
Exclusives.
Every other week.
Yeah.
We talk about things we've watched that don't fit in the
in the realm
purview of the regular episodes, and then they're shorter too.
Yeah, they're shorter, and
we talk about more contemporary things.
Yeah.
Generally, I don't know if it's generally, but it's like whatever we watch that we're not gonna do an episode about.
Right.
Like, we don't plan them ahead. We don't plan those ahead. Generally.
No, yeah.
Generally,
we
it's
just
like, oh, let's talk about this thing we watched already.
Right. Also, we
so
do
often
like
it's more and more it's become like contemporary TV series. I feel like I don't know.
TV series and movies that we watch. Anything that's past like the year 2000. Or, oh man, I feel like I have to sneeze. Or like sometimes we'll do stuff that's like from the 90s, but like stuff that like we really don't have enough material to do a full episode on. Because some movies, honestly, there have been times where we watched movies and we've like planned podcast episodes, and then we're like, I don't think we can do it.
That's kind of how the Unmentionables came about, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Originally, it was you pitched it, and it was a great idea.
Because I was like, I want to talk about some of the movies that we watch.
Yeah.
But like, if we don't have enough material for a full episode, that should be fine. But like, I think Stigmata might have been one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we had a rough time. We couldn't. There was no way to do a full episode on Stigmata. And then the X-Files.
Same with Congo.
We didn't do it.
Oh yeah, the X-Files.
Fucking Congo. No one will ever hear that episode. I like how you're like, we're out of unmentionables. We have to record more. We have Congo in the bank. We're just never going to let people.
I just like holding that over people's heads. It's like I'm holding it hostage for ransom. Buy me a new computer. Or Congo gets it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. If you should become a patron because Keith needs a new fucking laptop. Keith does all this work on his laptop, and all his USBs
it's getting shaggy.
are taken a dookie.
Yeah, I'm down to one USB port. It's sad, y'all.
It is. And how many do you have? Like 4? 4?
3.
Okay.
Originally, 1 stopped working like almost immediately, and then
right on.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I have I think I have 4. Maybe I only have 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how? I just don't feel like it's enough. And I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, we have different methodologies as it, but
I truly
regardless.
I know. Anyway,
my system could use some.
Yeah, no.
Freshening up. So
also, like, I think
Patreon lets you do like a campaign.
Oh, it
like
might.
set a goal.
Oh my God. Okay.
And they just,
y'all listen.
I don't know if you read this. They just did. This is some. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Inside baseball, housekeeping, whatever you want to call it, boring ass shit that you probably won't be interested in. Last year or at the beginning of this year, Patreon did this big survey.
Yeah. And they changed
for users. And they just published the results of that.
Yeah,
and
I read through that. Yeah.
One of the things that they say they're going to implement that people want is one-off tips. So
yeah. Also, it was very interesting. The thing that I was like, no, because they did this thing where they were like, do you want people to tell you why they left? Or like, do you want to get like notifications when people stop? And that's one of the most stressful fucking things to me about like Patreon. Like the app will like be like, by the way, this person fucking hates your shit. and it's like whatever. But like the second someone like becomes a patron, it lets you know. And then the second they ditch out, it lets you know. So like it's really fun when someone's like, when it's like, you know, random became a patron at 8 a.m. Random deleted their their Patreon subscription at 8:01 a.m. and I'm like, ow, fuck off. Right. Also, I really like the it does let you do like an exit survey of like, and like literally 99% of everyone has marked financial reasons. Yeah. There have been 2 others. One of them said I didn't write enough poetry.
This was on your personal
yes,
one,
on
right?
on my personal one. One of them said I didn't write enough poetry and prose, and I was like, "Hey, hon, this is literally the middle of a pandemic. Sorry that I'm not writing poetry that I never actually said I would write. So thank you. I've never said I write poetry, so I'm like, okay, what?" And the other one just said, "Z is a cruel person."
I wonder who.
Which I screenshotted that. I'll keep that forever. That made me happy.
Badge of honor.
Anyway, this is totally an aside. But Patreon also sent me an email like yesterday or the day before, and it was like join, and I'm like, this can't be real. I really I'm like, this has to be a scam. Patreon, like erotic club or something, and I'm like, what are you?
That sounds legit.
And it's like join a erotic arts club, and I was like, what? So
meet single patrons in your area.
It was very confusing because it's like join now, and it's like you can make, I don't know. I was just like, what the fuck? So anyway, I'm gonna look into that. I was like,
only patrons.
Right. Good Lord. Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah, throw some bones if you're
Yeah. We're poor. We do this. This is really a, what do you call it?
A sinking ship. A doomed adventure.
No, what do you call like a passion project? Is that what it's called? Yeah. The look on your face. Passion project.
Passion project. Passion project. Burger. Burger.
God, that's all we do is watch Bob's Burgers.
It's not true.
It's okay.
We also watch a couple of other shows a lot.
We also sometimes watch Archer. So
we're grown-ups who watch cartoons.
Yeah,
almost exclusively.
This is legit. This is what I watch on TV. I watch adult animation and Archive 81, and that's all my day is. Sometimes I throw in some child animation in there too, so I'll watch Adventure Time or Steven Universe. I know. But in the daytime, in the day hours, I'll watch Adventure Time or Steven Universe or Archive 81, and then in the nighttime, I watch Bob's Burgers or Archer or sometimes Venture Brothers.
Yep.
I have a full life. I've seen Archive 81 so many fucking times. I don't know why. That's literally the only thing. Like, I'll be like, what do I want to watch? And then I just, like...
I'm getting close to 50, and
yeah,
I still play video games almost every day.
That's cool. I like that, though. That's fun.
Sometimes it feels really embarrassing.
No, video games are good. Video games are good for, like, a lot of reasons. People talk shit on them, but they're really good. They're good for, like,
it's an old...
and they're good for, like, focusing your mind and for, like, there are all kinds of things that they're good for, like strategy, like
they're
learning
good for,
things.
Making you want to become a school shooter. Or if you focus that energy more healthily, join the military.
I wouldn't know.
Anyway, that's an old shame.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Given my age, because video games were
right. Yeah. But
relatively new.
It's weird. You know what my mom told me? I don't know if it's true because who knows what the But she told me that like this was something that like kind of opened my eyes a little bit to stuff because, but she was like, people used to think like now it's like, oh, if you read, you're super intelligent and there's like sort of like this thing of like reading makes you more intelligent than everyone else. But my mom was like, yeah, when books first came out and people were reading them, they got called like frivolous and shit because they weren't doing other stuff. She was like, it's just anything that comes out, any new type of media that comes out that people aren't used to.
Also, when it's new, it's not as accessible. It's going to be much more expensive.
Exactly. So it was like something where like people would get shamed for reading. And I was like, damn it. Yeah. So it's just, I was like, damn it.
Yeah,
of course I didn't say damn it because I was...
You said fucking cock whore shit.
I one time said freaking in front of my mom and she got so upset with me and I was like 15 or 16.
You think I had a friend in junior high or high school that couldn't say butthead?
The Lord is knocking. Don't take my name in vain. The next thing better not be God damn it or God damn it, I swear to God. God, my favorite thing.
It'll come back to you threefold.
My favorite. My favorite thing is one time in youth group when I was a teenager, my my youth pastor was like, luckily I wasn't in school, so there was no peer pressure to actually interact with children. But he was like, if someone's cursing at school, just like, don't be afraid to be like, hey, God's last name isn't damn.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Can you imagine how many
Jesus' last name isn't Christ.
Fuck off. Jesus Christ's middle name is an H.
Right, because that's an initial, not a whole name.
Nobody cares, bro.
Anyway, prom night, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you've seen it. Whatever, it's fine. No, I I just wanted to say before we actually got into it that I have spent the last week-ish going through all the photos from every phone I've ever owned that I've dumped onto my computers and saved. So almost 10 years worth of photos.
Oh my God.
No, 10 years worth of photos.
That's
10
wild.
years, because it goes all the way back to 2012, because that's when I got my first iPhone.
Shout out.
Yeah, and it was
to Apple Macintosh.
It's probably almost exactly 10 years. So that means going through lots of photos of my ex, seeing some people in my phone who have since died, things like that. Lots of old friendships that have taken a crap, things like that.
So,
jobs that I've hated. So it's been
real easy time.
Yep. So it's been a super great week. But it's actually been interesting because I'm it's given me a better understanding of myself a little bit. I know that sounds silly, but I have a very difficult time feeling I don't know, I judge past me extremely harshly.
Yeah.
And I thought I was stupid because I was being told at the time that I was stupid by a lot of people.
I mean, who are you going to believe?
Right, exactly. So looking back and seeing texts that I wrote and things that I said and pictures that I took.
Don't worry, I don't feel bad.
I was oh, I wasn't a giant idiot. I was saying things normal. I wasn't being an actual moron.
For me, it's always if I have the chance to review my past in any tangible way like that.
Yeah.
And by tangible, I mean if I'm going through any physical record,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm always oh yeah, I have done shit.
That's exactly what it was like. I was going through all this stuff, and just the 2 years that we've been in the pandemic. Whoa!
Cheers.
Just the 2.5 or whatever.
You know where that happened? Because I hit the lamp.
I've made so much fucking art on my phone, and it's insane. It's in fucking
and that's just
insane.
what you've made on your phone.
That's just what I made on my phone. And then but I was doing a lot of stuff early on. I was doing kind of similar stuff, but it wasn't
Similar
I
to
didn't
what?
Collage-y kind of things. I wasn't doing it with the same intent, I don't think, but I was using the same app.
Okay.
Back then that I use now on my phone to do everything. I've used the same app for almost 10 years.
Really?
Yeah. It's Pixlr, that Pixlr app.
Oh.
It is perfect.
Microsoft Paint.
I fucking pretty much
for iPhone.
I fucking love Pixlr. That shit can do anything.
It does a lot.
Yes.
For being free.
It's legit. And I think
What's that other one that you showed me? Where you can animate. You put it has all those filters and it can kind of animate.
Oh, Prequel?
Yeah, Prequel.
Prequel I like, but that one's annoying because that one prompts you. If you don't pay attention, it prompts you. As soon as you download it, it's okay, you can try Prequel. You can do like a free trial of prequel, and you're like, oh god damn it! But there's like a little tiny X in the corner, and you can X out, and you can actually use.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty and ad heavy,
right?
Or like
but like every time you every time you like open the app, it's like, oh, thanks for downloading this. You should pay for it though, because you won't be able to do anything unless you pay for it. And then there's just an X that you can, yeah, and it's great. I love it. So I use that a lot. But like I remember I downloaded that the first time, and then I ditched it because I was like, oh, you have to pay for it, and I just like deleted it because I was like, I don't give a shit. But then I realized that I don't know. I downloaded it again, and I was like, I have to be mistaken about this app. I was like, there's no way that they would only do like a paid version of it, because that's like they're not going to get anything. Like if you can't do like you're going to tank, you know.
Right.
Because you have to entice people into wanting to do more.
Here's an idea that we don't have to do. It just popped in my head. Mm-hmm. On the off weeks when we're not doing Unmentionables, you'd review things that aren't movie or TV.
We should do that on YouTube and then get sponsorships.
Dude, if I could figure out some gig where people send you things for free,
I know.
I would love that shit.
The shit where people get sent sex toys to review, please.
No, remember I really wanted to do that for a while.
I know.
I even started
I mean, I would, but also I'd be like, no, I don't want to use that.
Yeah, no. I mean, how many different dildos can you review and say something new about?
Oh, this one's got a squishy handle or something or other. This one suctions to the wall.
God bless the people who do that and make it interesting. And
I know.
I follow someone, I think Euphoria Euphoria is a blogger. They have a website where they review sex toys. And they make it sound, they're really good at it.
Right.
So check them out.
Yeah.
If you need sex toys reviewed from a vagina haver perspective, and they talk about all kinds of factors like, you know, cost and materials and the business, the like labor practices, and all that shit. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good. No, I'm all for that.
Prom Night.
As previously mentioned in the 3 previous episodes that we've had in this month previously. Oh my God! I just remembered last night when I was accusing your butthole of trying to sing songs and doing an impression.
It was funny.
Anyway,
you had me laughing.
I did. I had you laughing. So for my birthday month, I picked all the movies all by myself.
No input from anyone else. In a total
anyone.
vacuum.
Yes.
It's like when they lowered Toki into the ocean in the isolated chamber.
Yes.
That was you.
Yes.
You had the abyss breathing liquid.
Yes, fuck yes. So I did Great Balls of Fire. So that was a great episode because that was like 2 hours long, and we talked about sexual assault the whole time. You're welcome. The second episode is Mystery Men, and we both love Mystery Men, and that was a lot of fun. Third episode, we watched The Craft, and that was really fun because we had Bunny on, and that was like for my specific birthday episode, so that was super fun.
I guess this is it, huh? This is wrapping it up.
And so it's the last one of my birthday month, and I picked Prom Night because I had never seen it before, and I'd always wanted to watch it. I think I might have seen the beginning because I recognized like the weird
with the kids.
Yeah, I recognized some of that, but I didn't recognize anything else going on in the movie, just like the part with the kids. So I don't know what happened. I don't know how I saw it. Maybe I was like watching it on TV and I was like, this is so boring. I don't give a shit.
Right.
'Cause that sounds like me when I was young.
No, if I caught that on TV now, I'd be like,
It's really, So I watched I'm pretty sure I watched.
I had never seen it before either.
Yeah, you'd never seen it before. I'd never seen it before. I didn't know it was a remake. I found out. Well, listen. Okay. I have more to say. I watched the 2008 Prom Night.
Oh, I'm familiar.
The one that came out in like 2008 or whatever. That's like Prom Night. I don't know. I think that's when
2008 Prom Night that came out in 2008.
That came out in 2008.
That one?
Yeah, the one from 2008.
Oh.
The thing. It was like completely changed. I don't know why they called it a Prom Night, and I don't know why they acted like it was like a remake or some shit. It just happened on a prom night, but it was like this girl's teacher was obsessed with her, so he got put in jail or something for being obsessed with her. I don't remember. And then he broke out of jail and was like coming after her on prom night. There's no twist.
Oh. It's just a slasher, basically.
Yeah, but he's just like, and I was like, there's no twist. There's no surprise ending. There's no big reveal. It's literally just straightforward. Her teacher's coming after her. And I'm like, this isn't.
Yawn.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I will say this movie did a good job of keeping us guessing, or me at least, about who the killer was.
Yeah.
They definitely they give you some very obvious garden paths as far as maybe it's this guy. Maybe it's this guy.
Yeah.
That guy's creepy.
Yeah. But yeah, this was like a fucking movie. I did not know.
Really
I had no idea. I was like, a couple things about it. I thought it was going to be a little bit shorter, and I thought it was going to be a lot more slashier than it was. I thought it was going to be like real amped up and real quick, and like kind of nonsensical.
2-3 kills?
There are
3.
4 kills.
4. Well, if you count the first
No, 3. No, yeah, 4 kills. Because
if you count the first one.
Then there's 5. Because there's the little kid kill, and then there's Kelly, Wendy.
No, Kelly is. Yeah. Isn't Kelly the first one? The kid that dies?
No, that's Regina or Ronaldo or something, whatever her name is. Regan or something. Reagan. I don't know.
That's The Exorcist.
And then there's
the rich girl.
Then there's Kelly, Wendy, Missy, and Nick. I just know Kelly's name. Melissa.
And Lou.
So Kelly, Lou? No, listen to what I'm saying. That are the ones that pushed her out of the window.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Those 4. So then it goes Kelly first. It like takes all this time. I think a nurse gets killed.
Oh, that's right.
And then Kelly's the first one to
go.
It's
unclear whether that's actually related or not.
It is and it isn't, because the guy that they're after, because they think that like someone did it that's like a pedophile, and he escapes like some mental hospital, and he's coming after them.
I mean, once you get past the opening sequence, which is its own thing, and kudos to that.
Yeah.
Mainly because it really shifts tone after that.
It shifts tone, but I was very surprised at like how in depth the storyline goes. Like so many times.
It's got a lot going on almost immediately.
Yes. So like I was like blown away, because I was like, the movie is like halfway over and you're still like, wait, are people gonna die? Like, what exactly is gonna happen? Like, it's very, but they're giving you,
it's not boring.
No. They set up so much before the killings start. So you're kind of like,
right.
I thought it was like good, because like for being 1980, like it truly did like give you all kinds of fucking directions to go to confuse you. So at first I was like, oh, the guy that they accused of the kill of like killing the little kid, who's like a supposed pedophile or whatever.
Right.
I was like, oh, he broke out of the hospital and he's killing all the kids that killed the little girl, because he's getting back at them for like ruining his life. And I was like, oh shit. But then turns out he's in a completely different state. He ran away. It has nothing to do with this. And you're like, what? And then they're like, oh, maybe it's the fucking boozy crazy janitor or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he freaks out. Like so many things. There's so many and also fucking Leslie Nielsen's in this.
Yeah, neither of us knew that going in, and he's the first credit on the screen.
He's the first credit, and we both were like, what?
I mean, he's kind of barely in it, but
I wrote down the noise we made at Leslie Nielsen.
Come on now, trust me.
Also, the kid kids fucking suck at hide and seek. I was trying to write in the dark, and I wrote, these kids study at, I don't know, like, I did not write
I learned much information in the shadow.
Oh.
Also, I love some of the camera work in this.
Oh my God. The fucking phone call that happens where they're just like following the fucking phone line.
I forgot about that.
And doing the fucking dial. Oh my God. So good.
Well, I was thinking more of some of the shots like in the opening sequence, the hide and seek one, where there's this like bookshelf. They use it a couple times. Someone hides in the corner.
Yes.
So you can see the kid that's hiding, and you can see through the bookshelf behind them to whoever's trying to find them. And that's really effective. And then lots of work with mirrors and other reflective surfaces, which I'm a real sucker for.
Oh, yeah. And also, well, the kids suck at hide and go seek. They're just
And it's also because glass and mirrors are like repeatedly like weapons.
Yes.
So,
man, this is some good shit.
Yeah,
this
it really
is. Some good shit.
I barely remember that this movie existed. And
I know.
It's never.
Well, that's what I was saying. What I found out after I watched the like remake of it or whatever that sucked. It was like, oh, the original Prom Night, and I was like, original Prom Night, and I was like, what? I didn't, and I feel like I was like waiting for like a special occasion or like waiting to watch it because I was like, oh, I want to see that, but like, you know, it was something where at the time, like in 2008, like getting like you couldn't really watch it online as easily in 2008 as you could now.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to rent movies
at
the video store anymore because Netflix was like that's when like the Blockbuster was going. All this stuff was happening, so I didn't really have access to it. And then over the past couple of years that we've been doing the podcast, I'm like, you know what? We should do that.
Yeah, and thank God.
Oh
so
my
good.
God.
I mean, this is one that like I don't like you said the name and I'm like, oh yeah, of course I've heard it. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. Oh yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, I periodically will do searches for like undersung horror movies or science fiction movies from the 80s and 90s or whatever, looking for things specifically for us to do for the pod that are like genre or like small budget kind of things. And this never comes up. I guess it's just like a known classic. Kind of like Basket Case really is never on those lists.
Right, yeah.
And this feels, I mean, I would say this is, you know, in a lot of ways, technically a much solid movie than Basket Case.
For sure, yeah.
But it definitely is, for me, it felt like...
There's a lot less rape in it. Meaning none.
Surprisingly. I mean, there's a lot of male... toxic masculinity and you know, like...
pressure. What are you, some fairy tale princess?
Drew, please.
Drew, please. If you don't, I know plenty who will.
Dudes pressuring girls towards...
It's really interesting, though, because... First of all,
Yeah, but in general, the way it handles teenage sexuality or whatever is I wouldn't say it's
not... It's
bad.
Almost better than it is now. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's... First of all, I do want to say this. I was like, how are any of these kids allowed to stay in school? Because they're constantly doing the most fucked up shit. Like, one of them wears a balaclava to fucking school and, like, just grabs, like, the Lou dude that's a piece of shit and ugly as fuck. He grabs Jamie Lee Curtis and while wearing a balaclava fucking kisses her, and her brother freaks out and, like, hits him. And then, they both get in trouble for it. I'm like, what the fuck? But, like...
Colette! That's it, for honor. This time you're out.
Look, man, he started it.
Alex?
He was just trying to help me.
You better come along with us to your father's office.
At one point, like, the Nick kid... who's Jamie Lee Curtis's boyfriend in the movie.
Right.
He, like...
And used to date the other girl.
Yeah, used to date Wendy.
Just didn't work out, Wendy. Why can't we just leave it at that?
Well, because I don't want to leave it at that.
He fucking comes behind, like, the lady in charge of the prom and, like, pretends to choke her.
Yeah, I know.
And he's like, ah, ha, ha. And she's like, oh, stop horsing around. And I'm like, how in the fuck?
Well, you've now seen Rock and Roll High School, so you know the kind of shit that went on.
I was just like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh my God, none of this would. Also, why do they're all fucking dressed, except for the dudes. All the girls are dressed like they're going to their fucking office jobs.
Yeah, I know.
It's so confusing. They're
Except
all
for
wearing
Jamie
like
Lee, who's always like wearing jeans.
She's in a blazer and like a button-up top.
I know, so hot.
I mean, she looks great. But it's so confusing. I'm like, why? And she like has jeans on, but I'm also like, are they jeans or are they like pants?
Jeggings.
I can't jeggings. But like everybody has like button up tops with the fucking
those Victorian collars with like a cameo.
Yes.
Or like a built-in bow ascot thing.
Oh,
that was just the style, bro.
I know, but they're all just like.
How about the reveal of her prom dress?
Oh my God! Yes.
It's kind of her worst outfit, honestly.
I know.
In the movie.
Also, it's like the prom dress itself is fine. But when she comes down the stairs, she's wearing like she's wearing like a little jacket or something, or like a thing over it. So it just looks like your mother's outfit to that wedding in 1982.
Yeah.
You know, your mother's cousin.
Like
your mother's cousin got married in 1982, and your mom hasn't lost the baby weight that she feels really insecure about. That never was actually there. She just hates having a mom.
A muumuu with a belt.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay, and then she takes it off, and then she's got that like she's like, it's just like her titties are all out and shit like that. You know, remember?
No, I'm not remembering.
Like, 'cause it's just like a spaghetti strap dress.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, yeah. Like
she's wearing that. Oh, wild.
Yes,
okay.
that's what I'm saying. Like, her dress is, like, fine. But, like, the whatever, like, overcoat makes it look like somebody messed up, you know? It's not
was she
good.
Wearing a full-on robe over it then?
I know. It's so fucking ugly. So, and, like, the reveal is, like, she's supposed to look gorgeous. And she, like I said, she just looks like someone's mom.
But I love it because it's almost a parody of that trope in movies and TVs where the woman's coming down the stairs. And why is this still a thing, by the way?
I know.
I know this was not now. This was 60
No,
years ago, but
60.
I hate that shit.
Oh yeah, it's dumb. Yeah, the fucking.
But it's also funny because not only is the dress underwhelming, but like it's like a weird half staircase, so she's barely even.
She's just standing on the second step, and he's like, "Wow."
It's not at all the thing they do where you're looking up.
Right.
It's not
yeah.
Scarlett O'Hara coming down the fucking spiral staircase, you know?
Yeah. I wrote down that, like, because, like, the way she is with her dad and her brother is so fucking wild. And I wrote, like, this is where not having a normal family makes it difficult to figure out if the portrayal of families in movies are actually weird or if that's how people really are.
I'm not going to claim that I can speak to normalcy in the family context, but she's more flirty with her brother than she is with Nick, I feel like.
Yeah. She kisses her brother probably more than she does Nick.
Yeah.
I do like the part.
I mean, they say they love each other, you know?
I do like the part where the ladies telling, like, they're rehearsing what they're going to do at the the weekly prom coming.
Weekly prom?
It's the fucking... It's from, like, the second episode of Adventure Time, and Lumpy's Space Princess is like, oh my God, it's the weekly prom coming.
Oh.
Weekly, like it's supposed to be. That's what. Anyway, whatever. So they're doing the rehearsal, and she's like, you'll kiss her now, and he's like, she's my sister, and they're like, just fucking do it. And so he kissed her on the cheek, and she's like, now the prom king or whatever, and he's like, "You want me to kiss him?" And Nick's like, "On the mouth, please." And I like it because it's like they are not like, "Oh, fuck," like nothing like that happens. They're just like, "Huh," and then they just like shake hands or whatever. I don't know. It's not as like.
Again, for
I know
the age and the genre, like it really sidesteps a lot of shitty tropes that we've become unfortunately familiar with.
I'll hit the pause button this time. I got a dookie.
You've got the music in you.
You got the poopy in you.
We'll kick their asses.
What is that from?
That song.
Oh my god! Wow. I was like, where do I know that from? The song. Oh yeah, that's right. The fucking disco shit.
Oh my god, the fucking dance routine they do in the middle?
Good God.
Didn't see that coming.
Nope.
Wonderful surprise.
Amazing.
It's quality stuff. I'm not even sarcastically.
No, it is. This is part of why it was so shocking to me. This movie's so shocking is that like so many. It is not. I did not guess at any point that it was going to have so much fucking disco in it, and two, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like,
oh, tell me the trivia about the songs.
So when they were filming, they used actual disco hits from the time, and like they realized like way late that they were not going to be able to use those songs because they weren't going to be able to afford them because they were actual disco hits, but like nobody realized it until it was vastly too late. So the guy that did the music for the movie, in like a matter of 5 days,
oh my god,
wrote a whole like slew of new disco songs to go into the movie that sounded similar enough that they could, go over what had already been playing. But not so similar that they could get sued for like, copying shit. So all that shit was done in like 5 fucking days. Insane. That also, shit is insane. Tight. Oh God, I had no idea that they weren't.
I would have been like, oh yeah, this.
I mean, I was like, I don't know these songs.
I don't recognize these
songs. This sounds like disco.
Seems like second tier.
I mean, I figured the Prom Night one was probably not. Right. It was probably
a custom job.
Probably custom for the movie, but yeah, Jesus Christ, it was so good.
How about the song that plays over the credits at the end, closing credits?
Fade to Black.
Yes.
It's called Fade to Black, but it's
Fade
not
to Black.
Fade to Black.
Good. Not to be confused with Fade to Grey by Visage.
Correct. We fade to grey.
I love that song.
That's good. Good.
One man was dead. One man.
Oh, but anyway. Yeah, like it was surprising in how many. What?
Oh no.
Oh, I thought you were doing the one finger. Like stop talking. It was really surprising how many. I don't want to say how many twists and turns there were because it wasn't really like twists and turns. It wasn't like that. It was just like it wasn't super easy to guess in a lot of ways.
It's not super tropey in that.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, and especially in 1980, I'm curious. The only thing that I'm like, wait, what was he supposed to be wearing lipstick with the reveal at the end? Was he supposed to be wearing lipstick?
I assumed that was supposed to just be blood.
Right, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell because the mom says, "Have you seen my lipstick?" The mom loses her red lipstick. So I was like, wait, is he supposed to be wearing lipstick? I could not tell. But yeah, I was like, there's not a lot of blood in this movie. And like, that was like, he got hit in the head or whatever, or the face. So I was like, maybe it's supposed to be blood or is it supposed to be lip? I could not tell.
Yeah.
So, and they don't, there's no focus whatsoever put on it.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's like, There's no explanation. There's no focus. It's like very short scene of a reveal.
Yeah.
So, no idea. So I don't know if I truly had zero concept. There was like a scene removed where, I mean, I kind of guessed this just by how they were dressed, but him and because he was, oh God, I don't remember what his name was.
Me either.
Yeah. Him and the sister, how they're both dressed alike.
Mm-hmm. In the opening sequence?
Yeah, they're twins. They were supposed to be twins. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that is
but
important.
that scene got cut for whatever reason.
Well, you know what? I'm glad they did, because then it would be too much of a presumed motivation.
Yeah. What are you looking for? Oh, to
His
see.
name?
Yeah, I can't remember. Is it like Andy or something?
Maybe Alex or Alan.
Oh, maybe it is Alex. I think it might be Alex. I can't remember the other girl's name. Vicky is the one that hooks up with Slick.
Vicky Slick.
That whole thing was insane.
That's so good.
The whole like van sequence where I'd supposedly the stunt coordinator or something
She's
like
got
that.
like 3 credits to her name.
Like supposedly that van was stolen. Like the van that they used was stolen.
Like they stole it to shoot the
Yes.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah. And apparently, like, no one wanted to put a budget to the film until Jamie Lee Curtis signed on.
Uh-huh. But, yeah, that's the question I had is, did she do anything between this and fucking Halloween?
Probably, because that was like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
She probably did Halloween too.
Oh, right. I'm real bad with the timeline with those movies, so.
Me too.
I'm real bad with that.
I'm real bad.
No, that was 81.
Oh, shit.
Also, 1980, she was in Terror Train. Oh, she's in The Fog?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Huh, I didn't remember that.
I've not. Is that from the 70s?
It's also 1980.
Oh,
I've seen it. I think it's solid.
Cool.
I mean, it's John Carpenter, so I don't know if you like it, but
Why? Why do you say that?
because I don't know if I like his movies.
Oh,
As I've said,
I see. Okay.
I like him in concept more than.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anyway.
I don't know if I would like. It's one of those things where like, I have an appreciation for things now that I didn't.
Yeah.
A while ago,
Right.
you know. But that doesn't mean that I don't have it doesn't mean that I didn't appreciate it. Just that my appreciation is different.
Yeah.
Towards
For
these
sure.
things. So
That's kind of one of the. I
Yeah.
feel like the mission of this podcast.
no. I mean, like 10 years ago, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this movie, and then now, if I see something, I'm like, oh my God, I fucking absolutely love everything about it. It's weird. I mean,
I was gonna say this is one of the movies. This and Basket Case. I mean, it's like this is one of the joys of coming to horror later in life for me. Is I'm like, oh my God.
This is the thing.
First of all, I wouldn't have been able to appreciate these kinds of movies earlier in life.
No.
And second, it's just so exciting to be, in my ripe old age, fewer things are exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to turn up the kink for me to
well,
get
that's
interested.
something
So it's just exciting to encounter something that feels new to you. And
I feel like I didn't.
I get it now, guys.
I didn't really appreciate like classic horror when I was younger. I thought it was a lot cheesier and schlockier. Like anything that was like before like the early 90s.
Okay.
Because I thought it was cheesy. I was like, oh, there's not as much. Like it's it's just like it's fine, but it's not really what I want.
I've stayed away from it because it's just especially once the rise of slashers, it seemed heavily reliant on the female fear.
Right. So yeah, and then like when I was younger, like early 20s, like a teen in early 20s, I really liked horror, but I was like, oh, I only care about like, I was like, oh, I want the gory stuff, and I want like super like, bloody, and like, I mean, I still enjoy that stuff a lot because it's, it's just for fun or whatever. But like, I don't know, I was like 24, 25, something like that, and I mean, I can tell you what happened, but I'll refrain. I I couldn't handle like the violence against women happening, and I started having trouble like digesting a lot more, and it just expanded. Like at first it was like the first time it happened was like Resident Evil, the movie Resident Evil. It's one that I love, but I would forget that there was a scene in it where barbed wire is like shoved between someone's legs. Oh, yes. And they're just like ripped apart or something like that. And I was like, it made me feel physically ill to watch it.
Weird.
Yeah. And I just like, every time I would watch, I would forget that it would happen. And I'd watch the movie again. I'd be like, oh man, I love this movie. And then that scene would come on and I'd be like, oh God. And I'd feel sick. And then I was like, I just probably can't watch this movie because it's getting worse every time. It's not like where I'm like, oh, right, that's going to happen. It'll be fine. I'm just like getting like sicker and sicker when I watch it. And then it just, I was like, okay, I won't watch that. And then I would watch something else and I would be like, okay, there's sexual assault in this, or like, okay, there's, and all of these things. And I was like, I don't want to watch these movies, And so like watching horror went from being something that I did as a way to like wind down or like have fun, I mean, my own trauma helped in this, but it became like, I'm like, I don't really need the fun that I'm trying to have to be a reminder of assault that I've experienced and pain that I've experienced, like this isn't actually empowering in any way. There's a lot of ways that like, they get treated as empowering and really it's just revenge. It's like someone's revenge fantasy, and it's like that's fine if that's a thing that that helps you, but like a lot of people aren't helped by that sort of thing.
Right.
And it's something that feels very, very steeped in toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Like you take from me, I take back from you.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not really how it works. Like, and that doesn't fix anything. Like the thing is still taken. It's just doubly taken now. It's not,
Yeah.
And so like through that, I started watching.
Eye for an eye leaves everyone blind.
Right. And like I started watching less and less and less horror. And then, a lot of stuff. Like I used to watch anything that was horror. I used to be like, oh my God, just let me have it. And now I'm like so picky. I do love horror, but like but I'm like, I don't feel as safe watching it. So like, it's really exciting to see this movie, and like it's something that like you can look at and like critically dissect and still find like it's interesting because like the character of Kelly, like she doesn't want to have sex,
right,
and then she gets killed, so people aren't being punished for being sexual,
right,
and that's almost completely like that's like she's the first to go. So it's like stating a fact that like this is not punishment for sex.
Right. This
is not punishment for some sexuality.
P.S. We watched this on Friday the 13th.
Yes, that's right. I don't know if that means anything. It was 13 o'clock when we started watching it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like there's so much that is like said in this without saying it, and it was
the thing that I always like to remind myself, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think I get it from Samuel Delaney that like genre fiction. I mean, he was talking about writing, but
right. Yeah.
Sci-fi, fantasy, horror.
Mm-hmm.
They're by nature already. He calls them the paraliterary.
Right. Yeah. You've. Yeah.
And I may be misrepresenting this concept, but whatever, it helps me.
I was gonna say it's how it's how you're interpreting it. So that's
again, I'm not pretending to quote him. I believe that I'm paraphrasing him but I might be doing it wrong. It's been a while since I've read that essay. Anywho, because they're already removed from reality, they're almost structurally, intrinsically allegorical.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yes.
Choose the message.
Right. Exactly.
And they have more. It's just people are already arriving with an allegorical lens.
Yes.
Or I think
Absolutely.
like more often than reading straight fiction.
Right. And this is the thing that's like is kind of like weird for me. Like like when we had like RW on, and he was saying like maybe he didn't say this on mic. I don't remember, but he said either on mic or just to us, he doesn't really enjoy dissecting movies.
Right.
That's not his thing, and he just likes to enjoy the movie. And I said that's how I enjoy the movie, is dissecting it. And I think that, and I'm just mentioning that, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with like not dissecting a movie. That is absolutely fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that you can have a movie that is fun to watch and also can be critically dissected and not suck. Like you don't have to pick one or the other. You don't have to pick a shitty movie that has no fucking like substance to it.
Right.
Is only fun to watch. No, you can have a movie that you're able to say, this means this is clearly stating this is clearly stating that. And you can have things, and it doesn't have to be, oh, we're going to punish women. Oh, this is something that I really liked about the new Scream movie, is the fact that the opening sequence where like every other Scream movie, a young girl gets stabbed to death. And in this one, a young girl gets stabbed, and then we find out she doesn't die.
Right.
And she's actually pivotal to the entire movie. And I love that.
Yeah.
I was like, you instantly said, we're not doing the same thing.
We're going to make you think we are. I love that it took them this long to upset their own, that trope.
Well, that's because Wes Craven died.
R.I.P.
Yeah. He died between the last Scream movie.
Oh,
and this
really?
one. Yeah, the most recent. Yeah. That's why. Yeah. And like, it's something where, and whatever. I'm not like saying like, oh, you shouldn't have done that in the other movies, but it's something where they're like, you know what, we're going to do the same thing, but it's
different.
But the outcome will change.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck yes. Like I loved it. I loved it so much. Because it was like, okay, yeah, we're hurting women, but we're not going to punish them.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to punish them for being in this movie. Like this is talking about people like hurting people like, and the whole thing, I feel like with Scream, just like it's sort of like at least with the first one, and especially with this last one, and I think with the fourth one too. I think 2 and 3 are a little just like, just sequels. Yeah. But like for 1, 4, and 5, I think they do a lot to say like.
What is this, a blues song? Am I right, guys? 1, 4, and 5?
Well, I don't get it. So I think they do a lot to be like, what is horror to the audience?
Yeah.
Like, because you can enjoy horror and you can make it something like, because they have people in all of the movies, they have people who are both obsessed with horror to a point that they're killing people, and other people that are obsessed with horror and are just able to appreciate it for what it is, for an art form.
Yes, right.
So it does something where it's like people taking it and making it something it shouldn't be, and then people taking it as the art form that it is. And they do a sort of a subtle and yet very clear distinction between the two.
Yeah, that's
there
true.
There are people who take this and make it something, but that's their choice. Like they definitely make it like it's your choice to use this as a reason for murder. It's your choice to view it as an art form. Like it's not horror that is the bad guy.
Yeah, right.
So I think that that's something that I really enjoy about those movies, and I think it's something that I enjoy about horror that's done. And it's not even like elevated horror. It's not something where it's like, oh, you know, like, oh, this is horror, even though there's no death in it and like whatever, and like no one dies and everything's peaceful. I mean, I do think The Babadook is a scary movie, but I don't really I think it's more just like scary. I don't think it's a horror movie. It's really good, and it's a criticism of like, or not a criticism, but it's an analyzation of like motherhood and like, and just
grief.
Yeah, and it's a amazing movie. But like, I'm not gonna watch it if I'm wanting a scary movie, or like if I'm wanting like a horror movie that's gonna give me like a bunch of, you know, I'm not really gonna watch it because.
That's how I feel about Let the Right One In.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've never seen it.
It's spooky. I mean, it definitely.
Yeah.
Atmospheric and
right.
some scares in it. But.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that there's like, I like slasher movies. But I think something that I liked about Prom Night is that it's a slasher movie that gives you a whole movie. It doesn't just make it about, doesn't just say like, okay, well, we're going to do a bunch of killing and that's what this movie's about. It's literally giving you an entire film that happens to have slash in it. Like, it's just like, okay,
and
we're going to.
First, you know, except for the opening one, the first kill doesn't happen until.
Well, I mean, it doesn't happen. Like, the first kill.
That we see.
Yeah. Doesn't happen until probably two-thirds into it. Yeah. And I was even like, oh my God, is this not actually a slasher movie?
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? But yeah.
Anyway, thumbs up.
I definitely. I think you should watch it.
I don't think I have any of my usual caveats.
I know. Yeah. If you, I mean, you know, my caveat would be if you don't like horror movies.
Oh, well, yeah.
Then don't watch it, obviously.
You know,
but
it's got
like,
I mean, this is, I think, the hardest thing potentially for contemporary artists to watch things of this vintage is the pacing is so,
the pacing is broken up strange.
Yes.
Yeah.
This movie, I think, handles it well because I mean, like, I would say it's uneven, but it doesn't feel bad.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, the opening sequence, now, if you did it in a movie, it would be 2 minutes long or something.
Oh, for sure.
And it takes 15, 20 minutes of the film. So things like that, like...
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're familiar with films of this era, you're not going to be surprised by that.
Correct.
But if you're used to...
Right, if you're used to, like, modern-day slashers.
And because we watch contemporary things, of course.
Yeah.
And more of those than...
I will say this. This is something that was, like... This isn't a negative. This is just a statement, like that I feel like is unlike a lot of other, even movies of the time. I mean, I'm not like super well versed in 70s and early 80s horror, but I've seen a few things. You know, there is so much time dedicated to each kill.
Yeah,
I think Kelly's is probably the shortest. Hers is she's the first one that we see.
Yeah.
And I mean, the amount of time Wendy is running around, the fucking van scene, even like like so much, there is so much time given each kill. And I was like, what I liked about that is that it kind of showed you that this wasn't necessarily thought out or planned out or methodical. It was
by the killer, you mean?
Like, because so much time was being taken with each one. Meaning...
Also, there's great stuff, like... And it's interesting, like, it's not... You know, you would think that the extending of it like that would be an attempt to ramp up the tension more and more, ratchet it up more and more.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do that
exactly.
it
doesn't. No.
I mean, at least from, you know, a contemporary view, right? But also, it doesn't dissipate. Like, it doesn't lose any of the tension. In fact, I love the... Is it Wendy, the first one, where she's hiding in the car and then she gets out and she hits the guy with a broom or a hammer or whatever and gets away again and like
and like and I think like other than the first one, we don't actually like see any of the kills. Like we see them dead, but we don't, like, when Kelly's throat is slit, we don't see it happening.
Yes, that's true.
Like, when really Wendy gets hit with an axe, we don't see it happening. Like when Vicky gets stabbed or whatever, we don't see it happening. We don't see any of it happening. And that was something that was really, really, really interesting to me.
But there's still gore.
There's
lots
still
of blood.
gore. Yes, there's still blood. There's still they show the
show.
they show like someone's head rolling across the floor, but you don't see the actual. Oh man, that was amazing. That scene was amazing when oh fuck.
I was trying to remember. I feel like there's another movie that I'm like, I remember this. I thought I remembered a specific scene from a more contemporary movie that I feel like it must have been quoting or referencing that scene because the killer is like, there's lots of stage lights and they're trying to kill somebody and then they get electrocuted. It might even be one of the Scream movies. But
oh, I don't remember.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, definite recommend. Happy birthday to me. This was a great choice on my
Woo!
part. I did amazing this month. Yeah, I was like, God, I hope this movie doesn't suck because it's gonna be like, well, we did 3 fun ones and then
this is great.
It's so good. Watch
Good
it.
choice.
Celebrate my birthday with me by watching it. Give us money to the
hot as ever.
podcast for my birthday.
There's one titty you get to see in this movie.
You see
two?
Kelly's full on chest when she's putting her. You literally cannot retain who Kelly.
No, I can't remember anybody's name.
I have multiple times just during the recording. I've explained to you who Kelly is.
Kelly.
She's the first kill, and she's the one that is a virgin.
Okay.
So when she's pulling her white dress up, you see her full bare chest.
Oh, okay.
In the
You see her decide to not put her bra back on? Basically?
Yeah.
For some
and
reason?
cry about it.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Anyway.
R.I.P. Kelly.
Sorry I didn't give the titty review early on.
I think Kelly's really hot. I thought she was probably. I know her weird little
I thought she was hot, but not my favorite actor in this movie.
No, but she was so fucking hot. Like her little pigtails and like her overbite. I was like, oh fuck, god damn it, son of a bitch. So cute. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, you should watch this movie. Thanks for listening.
Lee is badass in this.
Oh my god, yes. She just
seems like on a different level than everybody else too.
I know.
She seems like an adult when nobody else seems like an adult.
I know. It was really good.
Yeah.
This is good.
Do it.
Yeah, watch it. If nothing else, then for all the disco shit, man. So good.
Hell yeah.
So fucking good.
Welcome to Disco Madness.
Oh man, yeah. Watch it. Peace out. And adios.
Disco is not dead. Disco is life. Let's talk. That is
what?